Welcome.
We're on.
Finger and all. If you don't look out, I'll give you the finger.
Oh, darling. Well, we have had an exciting weekend.
Easter.
Yeah,
Only
and
happens on
I
Easter.
put some lippy on. It's so easy to put this makeup on. It's like amazing. I can't actually see who's on. It says someone is on. But,
Got one. Rona.
Yay. Hey, Rona.
Hey, Rona.
So he's had a bit of an adventure and my hair. Oh, it's the opposite.
At least you've got
It's
some.
the opposite.
Hey, Bev.
Oh, no, bucket loads came off.
G'day, Bev. Hey, Trish, I saw your neighbour at the hospital yesterday.
In Gosford.
Gosford, yeah, she took my details.
Look at this. I'm going to tell you all about these.
Hang on, put it down on there and I'll put that down.
Oh, there you go.
There they are.
They're my
beautiful.
little Easter treats. Oh, hang on. Stay there and I'll break one open. I should have been there. I will.
Hang on, go, there's the camera there. There's the camera there. Down. Go back a little bit. That's it. They're really nice too. Not very appetizing. I'd rather eat chocolate. Well, you haven't tasted these.
You're in luck because it has chocolate in there. For those who didn't see them.
Okay, get started. Let's go.
Easter treats. They look a bit like Easter eggs, really.
They're better than Easter eggs.
So, thanks for coming on. And I wanted to put a really big shout out. Thank you for the hearts. A really big shout out for Alina. She took over for 2 weeks for us while we were away in Spain. So really appreciate that. And those people that came on board and did the talks, thank you so much. We were able to listen to them as well when after hours because we kind of kept missing everything. But thanks for doing it. So today we're actually going to...
First off, what an amazing time we had in Diamond Club.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you all saw the balloons.
Yeah, my biggest take on those is they have a lot of stuff like that, right? But the biggest thing is when you network with the other diamonds there and you find out the things that are working for them and not working for them too. So you can all share and pull ideas. And we did so much brainstorming around the food tables of coming up with different things to try and do. So that's pretty awesome. But you do get a lovely lifestyle too with the, oh, what happened?
Yeah, so the question page. Anyway.
I'm
just talking about.
So I'm going to kick it off today. I've got a few gifts here and I'll just show you. So you're going to love the lemon sandwich. But you need to give it to them
after I've talked.
Yeah, but they don't know which one I'm going to do.
Okay.
And this is a new product. Well, it's not a new product. It's an old product Young Living's had for many years, but we've actually got it in Australia at the moment, the big one. Not this one, but you're going to have one of those.
What is it? For show what it is.
It's the Thieves fruit and veggie cleaner.
Veggie spray.
And that's the on-the-go one. So
very amazing.
Bought an apple. You can't really do much washing. You can spritz it with that, wipe it, and you're good to go.
You can even do it for the PCs.
And someone's going to get a beautiful, and I can't move it across, but it's a Young Living apron.
Spain.
And
Diamond Club.
And it's got little frillies. If you see the post that I put up on the leaders page with one of the guys that were doing the thing with me from Indonesia,
Chris will look good in that, and so will Brian.
Yeah. You'll see the little frilly Spanishy style aprons. So someone's going to get one of these this week. I've got a couple of them. So today it's the frilly girls one that's going to you. So I'll probably do them in that order, Ella.
Okay.
See what people want to go for.
So.
Okay, so question number one. Thank you again. I know it's Easter, you guys, and you've taken your time out to actually come and do this, so we really appreciate it as well. We're going to try and keep on time and not go too overboard, although we've used 5 minutes up already.
I've got about 15 to go.
Okay, question number one. Ready? Get your fingers ready. Name one plant that we saw distilled in Spain. One plant we saw distilled in Spain. Go. Come on.
Give us some hearts at least.
Well, no, don't forget the hearts right now. Start doing the typing because the typing is what's going to get you your Oh, no one wants the lemon sandalwood soap, I bet.
No, yes, I would. Why wouldn't you?
Maybe she'd muck it up. Of course, I love this soap because it.
No, they don't know what they're getting.
No. Oh, you reckon change it? Okay.
Oh, there's a
Anybody on
heart.
there? There's a heart.
Come
Come
on.
on. Somebody
Okay,
put.
someone.
Oh.
I didn't see. It's not scrolling up.
Okay. So where are we here?
Up there, Rona.
What'd she say? Sisters.
Sisters.
Rona, this is coming your
That's
way.
yours.
Congratulations. So I should put that to remember.
Sorry, Becky. Rona pipped you at the post.
Okay, and so for our next prize, how long has Young Living how long has Young Living had the partnership with this farm that distills the Sisters
This is a
in
tough.
Spain?
This is a tough one.
Yeah, well, if you listen to some of the posts that Alan put up, you'll probably work it out. But let me give you a clue. Oh, got some hearts. You better scroll this. Redraw it.
Redraw it.
Why?
Why redraw it, Rona?
No, Rona, it's yours. Can't redraw. Thanks for saying that though. 15 years. No, it's not quite 15 years.
Not quite.
Hey, how come it's over 15
Oh,
years?
Becky, 1999.
Oh, hang on. It's coming through now.
Hang on, 99. What's that? What are we? 2000.
Christine says, Rona, give it to me,
That's-
probably. I can't. This isn't moving
20
fast.
years.
So is that 20 years?
No, more than that.
Okay, longer than that.
Oh,
So it's
Becky,
longer than that.
1996.
1996. Is it getting close? But no cigar, is it?
Pretty close.
Okay, so here's another one. Okay. No, not that one. Still going for it. Why do I have to keep scrolling this? 18 years? No, it's longer than 18 years. Come on, pop it up. So it's longer than 20 years. And it's longer. What's 96? How many years is that? That's 60.
That's what they told us.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. It goes back
okay.
a long, long way.
Okay, so we're looking in the 1980 mark. So see if you can come up with it. Oh, we're getting closer
Christine
with the
said
numbers.
25 years, getting closer.
She keeps changing her mind. Come on, if you keep just
21
whacking them
years?
in.
No.
Christine's going to go by hook or by crook.
Christine will get it by default.
24 years. No, come on, somebody else. 22 years. No, Bev Robinson. Keep going.
There
That's
was already
longer.
a 22, Bev. Christine did 22.
So it's more than 22 years.
Come on.
23, no longer than 23
look, give you a
years.
clue. Oh, Christine's getting closer.
She's getting closer.
Yes, she's
Christine
got
it. Oh, 30 years.
No. Stop at 30.
Why? You can't yet. She's won it.
She won it.
30 years. They've been actually
That's
around
what we were
with this
told.
team for man, is nobody else but Christine answering these questions? What's going on here? Okay, Christine is right. They've been together in a partnership for about 30 years. It's one of the early farms that Gary and Mary actually visited and were connected. Did you know when we got there, this farm actually produces for no one's even given Christine. She worked her ass off then. Hearts to say congratulations, Christine. That's Christine's.
Good one, Christine.
They actually distill for other companies. They have Young Livings. They have others which they provide to brokers, right? As
been there the
well.
longest.
Apart from that, there's two sections. One section does Young Living distilling, one section does the others distilling. So when people come along and they say, oh, we buy from the same farm as where Young Living does, they might.
In that situation with Sisters, Myrrh and Frankincense?
They did Myrrh too, did they?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Sisters, Myrrh and Frankincense, that can be the case.
That
Except
farm?
there's a big wall between the two companies.
We went to two different sections. If you saw the videos with Alan, you would have seen that they had different sections where they did for different companies. And they don't, as the guy said, and Alan didn't record it, but I asked him to, with the guy saying that they can add other things when they distill them for other companies.
And for the perfumery industry,
For the
they
perfume
alter
industry.
it, they change it, they extract, they may manipulate. And they said that, they told us openly that's what they do.
Mm.
Hey,
Okay.
Ryan, all the way from Manila. Philippines.
So, and for my last gift, right?
Oh, this will get a good on
You'll have to go really fast on this
half-naked
one.
man in the kitchen. All you
Okay.
see is his butt.
Name one. As you know, Alan's had a little bit of an adventure.
See, I'll give you the finger.
I want you to name one oil that Alan's used for his emergency oil. One oil that Alan used for his emergency oil. Now, there's probably about 7, so you just need to pick the one oil that he had for his emergency. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take it back. 8. So we put 8 oils on. See if somebody can come up.
Oh, who was the first one? Pregano.
What's Pregano?
Is that like a pregnancy oil?
Christine Scott, oregano.
Well, Rona, what did you go to? Christine, get in. Christine did oregano and Rona did Pregano.
So Scott, she picked you at the post again, man, Christine. Look at him all. Yep, and oregano. We did use Frank. Didn't put time on, although it was a good one because we ran out.
They were right because it was empty.
Yeah, Cohiba. That's the one. We're actually out of it, so he's not very happy.
Full kit.
The full kit. That's about it. Winter green. That was probably one as well. So. No, congratulations, but oregano, actually, I noticed that a lot of people put up oregano. Oregano is his go-to.
Especially for an open wound.
Yeah.
And this was a little bit of an open wound. Who didn't see the open wound?
Oh, you know what? If you don't want to see gory stuff, just don't look right now. Cover your screen. He wants to show everybody. Mind you, I don't think he's fully seen it yet either.
I'm not looking at it properly.
You got to blow it up. Blow it up.
Blow it up. I've blown it up.
Okay, it looks like a fig, doesn't it? But it's all the flaps come off. Yeah.
It's terrible. And
it's still like that because we spent all day yesterday in the hospital again, and they still don't know what to do with it.
They can't do anything because it's too shredded. They don't know what to do with it.
So Christine, 2 things for you. Congratulations. Well done.
Angela Proud. Hey, Ange.
So that's my bit done. So now what Alan's going to do is you're going to go through.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'll get out of your way.
So what do you do in an emergency? Well,
just eat my...
emergency, if you don't, let me just show you something else. Okay. You see that? That's a wood chipper. Look, that's a wood chipper. See those little holes down at the bottom here, down there? Those is where I accidentally, because my neighbour was frustrated and angry for some reason. It's only a rental property, he's not even here, and I'd never actually met the guy. But he came out kicking and screaming because it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, saying I was too noisy. Which, go figure, I don't know why. But I just fell a tree there, and he got me upset because he was yelling at me, and I went over to him and said, look, I don't want you to be upset. I'm not here to make you upset, so I'm sorry. I can stop. That only made him worse, so he just went more aggro. So I thought, okay, well, since my sorry didn't work, and I said I'd stop, and he still went off, I thought, okay, I'll go and start up again for 5 minutes. I only had 5 minutes left to go. So while I was doing that, I was still a bit flustered in the head and wasn't concentrating, and I moved my finger across the front of those circles that you saw, and my finger just flopped in like that, and it went shoo, and it shredded it. It's like a hammer mill. So instantly blood and guts are pouring everywhere. So what do you do in an emergency? Well, first off, if you don't have oils, you are cactus. You've got to have oils with you. It's silly not having oils. You think, okay, I'll go away from home and nothing's going to happen. But I didn't think anything was going to happen. And so immediately it did that to my finger. Blood is just going everywhere. So I stuck my finger up in the air and I grabbed everything that was around me and put it all back in the back, all my tools, I put them all back in the trailer. And then I started to get into the car, and while I was doing that, I'm dialing Linda on the phone saying, quick, bring oils, bring oils, bring oils. So I then got in the car and started to drive home to be there as fast as what she was coming away from home to come up to meet me. So we met in the middle. And I flew out of the car, and then she just dumped oils all over, right in the holes. Well, it was shredded, so you couldn't miss getting oils in there. So I was dripping with with all those oils in the picture: oregano, thieves, copaiba, lemongrass, black pepper, frankincense, clove, and panaway. And at that stage, I think there was wintergreen and a few other oils because that was on the side of the road. Unbelievable the way the blood, and Linda put cypress here, stopped. Now, if you're near a hospital, obviously go to hospital. We were nowhere near a hospital, nowhere near anything. I could have bled to death. So this is purely emergency situations. So the oils worked 100% to take the pain away instantly upon application. Now, that's not possible in the normal field, right? It's not possible. And even with any other compound around, unless you're doing morphine or you have an injection or something, there's no hope. So this, like I say, this is purely an emergency situation. I did everything wrong according to the road rules, as you saw in the video. So I won't go over that again. I probably need to remove that video, actually. There have been so many comments. But then we went to the, did finally get to emergency in Wyong that night, Friday night, and I was on a class 1 because there was blood going, but it was just all down my hands. It wasn't currently bleeding because cypress on my here stopped the blood. So, but it looked really bad. Well, it was. It was really bad. But they said, look, there's nothing we can do. Go to Gosford Hospital, go home. And they said, are you in any pain? I said, no. They said, well, here's some Panadine Fort and some antibiotics, and take them with you, and which I haven't taken. And so we went home. So all Friday night, they had this bandage on here just to sort of push the mush together. And as soon as the block, because they put needle blocks in here to take the pain, as soon as 3 o'clock in the morning came, man, I was awake. It was like bang, bang, bang. It was, fairly painful. I didn't take any painkillers, but it was still fairly painful. I was just putting up with it. So then went to the hospital in Gosford yesterday, Saturday, and we sat there for hours and hours and hours and hours, and finally they looked at it and they said, there's nothing we can do. So they sort of pushed the matted mess back together and then bandaged it, but they washed it in this iodine and it was iodine, not iodine, betadine. And I know betadine, what it does, it severs the ties of the body's communication to that area. So I know that for a fact. I know it doesn't sound logical, but I don't care. It does do that. Whether you believe it or not, I've had another experience with another situation in America. A guy lost his finger. I was there at the time in the hospital, and I was with him through the whole ordeal. Betadine on there just completely messed up what we did with the oils over there. But anyway, I'm glad we have the hospital. I'm glad we have the ability to take pain when they're doing stuff, because we're blessed to live in these days, that's for sure, because of the ability to make things numb, so that they could actually prod and poke it and wash it and dig it and pull it apart and do all sorts of stuff, and it was horrific. But once they finished looking at it, they x-rayed it. It didn't cut any bone. So basically, at the end of the day, they put the betadine on it. They mushed it all together, squashed it up, and just wrapped it and said, "Go home." So we did.
But he's going to talk to his superior surgeon, because we haven't even got to see.
He didn't even see the surgeon. It was crazy. They never even got to see the surgeon.
So we might get a phone call back, but he
on
didn't
Tuesday
think
or Wednesday.
it would sew up well.
But he said there's nothing to sew. It's just a bit mangled. But anyway, they when we got home, after he put all the betadine, washed it and all the stuff, we did what we were told not to do. Now, whether you want to listen to this or not, that's up to you. But it's my finger, and I can do what I want to my finger. So he said, don't touch it. They said, don't put anything on it, especially not oils, because I did mention that. And I said, no, nothing. They were sort of panicking. No oils. You don't want any infections to get in there, all this sort of stuff. Anyway, when we got home about what time? 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
3 o'clock? Stayed there, I lay down, and about 10 o'clock last night, it still had the block in there, it was still numb, because I knew if I didn't have oils on it, when the numbness went, I would be getting this throb, and it'd be excruciating, and then would have to take a Panadine Fort or something like that. But I knew if I took it off and soaked it in oils, and Linda helped me take it all off, and then we got all of those oils that we mentioned: oregano, thyme, copaiba, lemongrass. You know how hot lemongrass is in oregano? Black pepper is for nerves. The frankincense, DNA repair. Clove, antibacterial. Panaway is for pain. All of that, and copaiba is an anti-inflammatory. Soaked it, put a soak wick around it first, so that when we poured it on, it stayed in that little thin strip of a wick that we taped around, and then put the, so it was basically soaked in all those oils.
Lucky we did, because he hadn't wedged it up
He didn't
properly
either. When he
anyway,
put it together, it was had the flap here. That flap, it sort of wasn't closed up. It was bent. So when we pulled it out, Linda saw it and was able to push the flap back in and sort of try and bind it together a bit better. So anyway, we did manage to do that. And 3 o'clock this morning, woke up, my fingers were all, I could feel them again. And I'm going, wow. I mean, I knew this was going to happen, but people don't understand. They just think this is some sort of sales pitch. If you think it's a sales pitch, go and watch Sons and what's the latest TV show?
Whatever, it doesn't
some
matter.
Stupid, what is it? Reality show. And don't watch this. This is actually real reality, because this works in an emergency. It works. The hotter the oil, the faster the anti-inflammatory, and the faster the pain disappears. Doesn't sound logical at all, and like I said, I don't care if it doesn't sound logical. It breaks all bounds of logic in that other system. I'm not saying I don't. I mean, I'm certainly not saying I don't want the hospitals. I love the hospitals, because that's what they're there for, emergencies, and I was able to block this, so I couldn't feel, so they could wash it out and clean it out and make sure there was no foreign bodies in there, and had the X-ray to make sure there was no bones. If we could just marry the two systems together, we would be in the most perfect world. Post-op, when Gary used to do post-ops with oils, and they did not double blind, but they had patients in their 40-foot container when they were in the underdeveloped countries. They did a lot of operations years ago. They had patients that they would purposely put oils in post-op, and patients that they would not. They do the normal medical system. The patients that were post-op with oils 100% beat the pants off the normal system for post-op pain. You can't believe that I got zero pain here right now talking to you. If I didn't have the oils in there, I'd have to have Panadine. I'd have to have some sort of strong painkillers.
Only because we've used up all the oils, and we normally have a supply, but I hadn't put my order in. So it's a really good thing of making sure you got a backup of all those oils that have to do for emergency stuff, right?
Oh, Kathleen, you said a good point. Kathleen says, the only thing I was concerned about was that you may have gone into shock and had an accident. Oh, yeah, driving.
That's true.
But I wasn't in any shock.
Well, adrenaline normally kicks in for a bit until you get to location.
Yeah, but I tell you,
it's true.
I was in automatic pilot mode, and I didn't even think of anything bad. It was
I thought he was waiting for me up at the property.
No, I jumped in the car. I wanted to meet you halfway. I wasn't going to stand there waiting while I was bleeding.
So
I needed the oils on there instantly to stop the blood, and it stopped it like that. Literally like that.
So the moral of the story is always have your oils on hand. I'm going to place our order now, because if he does need anything like the morphine bomb and stuff, we've used up all our copaiba because he was using it for something else and I didn't know. But all those oils that you saw, plus cypress, which is the main one for blood and stuff, we always have a supply because there's no point not having it and then needing it in an emergency, right? So if you have that emergency kit sitting there somewhere, then you've got access to it straight away when you need it.
Don't be afraid to use the hot oils on open wounds.
Yeah.
That is number one.
Tell mine.
The reason why it's so important is oregano has got a lot of phenols in them, which are very harsh, and they're there to cut receptors. Medicines have phenols in them too, and they're the things that do the damage to the liver when they're synthetic. But in essential oil, they're not synthetic. They're perfectly tuned, and they're very specific to acid.
What's that?
Very particular. When oregano touches an acid environment, it gives off heat. So you stick oregano under your armpit, it's going to burn because under here is quite acidic. You put it in your mouth is a little bit more acidic, well, a little bit less acidic under the arms. Oh, no, probably similar. Put it between your legs, it's acidic, okay? So those places are going to burn. Put on the soles of your feet is very alkaline. You're not going to feel a thing. So alkaline versus acidity works the same as refrigerant gas on a refrigerator. When you compress the gas on a fridge, it gets hot. When you release it, it freezes. When you put a high phenol oil onto an acid, it gets boiling hot. When you put it on an alkaline, it can make it cold. Well, example, look at peppermint. Okay, but I don't use peppermint on an open wound because I want the high, strong phenols like that's in lemongrass. Very hot oil. Cinnamon, very hot oil. Oregano is hot. The hotter, the better, because it will break down the bacteria so that you don't get infection, and then you don't have any pain. Because when the body's healing, it starts to get infection and starts to put heat into the area to try and balance that infection. If there's no infection, there's no need for heat, so therefore there's no pain. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Have you been reading these?
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, so I hope that makes some sense. But the moral of this story, Lynn's already said the moral, but I'll give you another moral. Have oils on you or very close by all the time, especially the hot oils on open wounds, and get to the hospital, obviously, to make sure that, because they can then clean things out. They can, if you're in shock, well, the oils didn't allow me to have shock, but they can certainly help to protect you from shock because they've got drugs that can certainly do that. So amalgamation of the two is the perfect world, no doubt about it. So here I am sitting here with a shredded finger. You saw the photos, no pain, and I'll show you when it does heal what it's going to look like. Hopefully we mushed it together enough and held it in place. But as soon as I can get oils on it again, I'll be sticking my finger in those oils because they literally are miracles in bottles. Closest, Gary said, and Dr. Viu also said years ago, that essential oils are the closest thing we have to God on this earth. So remember that, and it is absolutely spot on. So having said that, I think we're done.
Thanks, Alan. Have the oils on hand.
Have them on hand.
And
always.
Get yourself somewhere where they can deal with it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll probably try and finish off. You notice that I've said on there that we're also going to talk about the daily tracker. And if you go on to, if you're part of the leaders page, and if you're not part of the leaders page, go and join it. The leaders page is basically a page that we've started up for people who are wanting to more proactively share young living. And so on there, up the top, there's a section called files. And on the files, it actually, if you drop it down, Alina's just working on it now for me, but we're changing to an the activity tracker to make it a weekly one so that you just see it as a week rather than a month, so you've got ability to write on it. And I was watching a video, and they were doing a challenge, and the girl had actually allocated points to their daily tracker, which is a really good idea. So we've added that on because then you can track what you're doing and tally up your points on a daily and on a weekly basis to see how you're progressing. So if you kind of go home and go, well, I want to share this, but I really don't know what activities to do. And I've come home now, made myself a cuppa after taking the kids to school, and I don't know where to start. The tracker will get you on track. So you pick it up and you start doing some of the things. Now there's a lot more things that you can do on that tracker to get momentum and to share. But what we've done is we've just listed the ones that are the most IPAs, income producing activities. So care calls are really important, but you'll notice they're not really on there because that's a follow-up thing that you should be doing in daily mode. But these are activities to just pump your business and get it cracking. And you've noticed we've been posting on people that have been, and I wanted to do the first time enrollers, yeah, but it didn't kind of pan out because we've been busy today. So, but I will keep that going so you can see people that are actually adding things and adding to what they do in their, I've lost my train of thought now because Alan said to me the numbers are going down. So it's distracted me.
Getting busy doing something else.
That's cool.
But hey, Kate said, I broke my toe, sorry, and I had no pain while using oils, and in 3 days I didn't even have the bruising. Spot on.
That's pretty good. What happens? Okay. So anyway, go on to the leaders page and get that tracker. Start using it. We've also got a protocol there, Me+3 chart. Now, you can use Me+2, Me+1, whatever you want to do, Me+7. It's up to you what you do. But the whole thing is about duplicating what you do for it to grow. So if you get that chart and go down to people that have enrolled for the first time and you give that to them and say, hey, if you want to get your products for free, start filling in the front line of this, and then we'll do step 2. Give me a call when you've done that. And then you'll teach them how to go down to those people that they've brought in and get their 3 or 6 or 1 or 4, whatever you choose to do. But at least it's a chart, and most people find that when they physically see something and see something being filled in, it's easy to say, oh, I've only got 2 more, oh, I've only got 1 more, for them to keep working towards their goal. So look those up, the Me+3 chart and the daily tracker, and start getting cracking into sharing, because the more you share, the more people are going to have oil. So when they have incidences like this, they've got something to go to. So you'll be actually doing them a huge favor. Learn how to invite them to attend, to listen to it, rather than trying to overload them.
Actually, Lou's right. Helichrysum and also Cistus, which we should have put that on too.
Yeah, well, you know what? I grabbed the bag, and while I was driving, I was trying to sort, and every time I got a traffic light, I'd be looking through and putting them in my lap.
There's so many super powerful oils we've got.
Yeah, so really, it doesn't really matter, right? You just get an oil, put it on there. But the hot oils are usually pretty good for killing off bacteria. Okay, now, if you want to make these great little balls, then they're really easy. I use some almonds, but you can use pepitas, whatever nuts. If you don't want nuts, use the seed like pepitas in there. It's got fresh dates. It's got raw cacao. It's got goji berries, the name, but you know, the wolfberries in there. And it's got a pinch of salt. And what else did I put in there? Maple syrup. So, oh, and some coconut, shredded coconut. So what I did is blend them all up together and then roll them. On the outside is chia seeds, because they do have omega-3s. We're going to be struggling to get, because omega-3 is a bit out of stock for us at the moment. So the more you can get chia into you, then you're going to get something. It's going to be a lot more than you need for the fish oils, and it's going to cost you a lot more using the chia seeds to get what you need, but at least it's a nice treat, right? So start using them and incorporating them. What I'll do is I'll post the actual ingredients and the amounts that I use on the page later, so if you want to make it, you can make it. Just look for my post through the thing and I'll put the recipe in there for you. And with that, we're going to sign off. Here's yours. Hey, hold your own. You've got one hand free.
Oh, yeah, I don't have to. Oh, yeah, I've got another hand.
Cheers. Have a great Easter.
Cheers.
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 Cheers to you all. Thanks for coming on, guys. See you next week.
I'll give you the follow-up next week.
Remember to
next Sunday.
Remember your friends to come. Ask them to come on next week. Bye.
Bye.